Section 2.3 lines. So in this section, these are the objective. We have to find out slope of a line. We're going to talk about that. After that, we try to graph a line with the slope and a point on the line, and we try to express the equation of line in point slope form, slope intercept form, and then line in a standard form. Um, so these are the objectives. So there are horizontal line, vertical line, and just a normal line. So first of all, let's talk about the slope. Let's say you have 2 points on the line. This is the line. There are 2 points, x1 y1 and x2 y2, and make sure that x1 and x2 they are not equal. In that case, we can find the slope. Slope means changing rate, how this line is changing. That's called slope. Slope can be found by finding how much a change in y if you go from one point to another point, over how much change in x value. So you can see the y value is the difference between the y coordinate of these 2 points, which is this value, this distance from y1 to y2. That's the rise, and x value is going from horizontally from this point to this point, which is called run. So slope of a line, if you know 2 points, can be found by finding the ratio of rise over run, which is actually change in y over change in x, which is actually the difference of y coordinate over difference of x coordinate. So in this formula, make sure that if you are subtracting y1 from y2 on the top, then you have to subtract x1 from x2. You can also replace this y2 by y1, but you also have to replace this x1 by x2 by x1. Okay, it's just a difference of the y coordinate on the top over difference of the x coordinate on the bottom. That's the slope. So let's see one example here. Let's say you have 2 points, 6, -4, and -5, 1, and we would like to find out the slope of a line passing through these 2 points. Okay, so we know for slope of the line, we know the formula. Formula is difference between the y value over difference between the x value. In this case, you can pick one as a x1 y1 and another one as x2 y2. So now just plug the value of y2, which is 1, minus y1, which is -4, over x2, which is -5, minus x1, which is +6. So if we simplify this, that will be 1 plus 4 over -11, which is 5 over negative. So we write this thing as a -5 over 11. That's the slope of line joining these 2 points. So negative slope means when you in the rectangular coordinate system, if you try to plot the graph of this line, you just have to join these 2 points and you will be able to see the structure of graph of the line. For example, 6, -4, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4. So 6 goes to the right direction, and then -4 means you have to go to the down. That's the first point, 6, -4. Another point is -5, 1. So 1 2 3 4 5. This is negative for the x coordinate, and y is positive, so here is the positive one. Okay, positive one. Now you just have to join these 2 points, and you can find out the graph. As you can see that when you move from left to right, the graph is going down. So that's the reason the slope is negative. Okay, there are 2 points, and we want to find out the slope passing through these 2 points using this formula. Again, just plug the value. Just think like this one is x1 y1 and this one is x2 y2, and then if you plug the value, it will be 6 minus -1 over 3 minus 3, which is 6 plus 1 over 0, 7 over 0. Whenever you see this kind of situation where you have 0 on the denominator, that means this slope is called undefined. because 0 on the denominator is not possible. This kind of slope, you get this kind of slope for a special line that's called, vertical line. If you have vertical line, then you get, so you get undefined slope. For example, if you try to plot these 2 points, as you can see, 3, -1, 1, 2, 3, -1 is somewhere here, and then 3, +6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, somewhere here. So if you try to join these 2 points, this is the graph of a line that's called vertical line. So you get the undefined, 0 on the denominator for the slope for vertical line, and this slope is called undefined slope. So that's the work. Since division by 0 is undefined, we say that the line passing through the point 3, -1 and 3, 6 has undefined slope. Okay. So now the next thing is, we want to express a line, equation of a line in point slope form. Here is a line, and we want to write down the equation of this line. This line is passing through a point, let's say x1, y1, and we have given slope of this line is m. In that case, equation of line can be found by using this formula, and this is called, point slope form. So y minus y1 equal m times x minus x1, where x1 and y1 is a point on this line and m is the slope. This is called point slope form of the equation of line. So if you have, a point and slope of a line, then you can always find the equation. So one example, let's say you have a slope and you have a point, then just plug this value in this formula. If you do that, you're going to get, the equation. This is the equation of line. Okay. Okay, so that's the equation of line. So if you want to, simplify more, you can always bring this 4 to the right side, or you can distribute this 2/3, and then you can simplify more. So if you subtract 4 from both sides, 4 will be here, and then you can just combine this 2/3 minus 4, which is 3/3. So that will be eventually 2 minus 12, which is -10/3. So -10/3. So this is another way of writing the same equation. So there is another form called slope intercept form, and that's what I was doing here. You can change this equation in this form: y equal 2/3 x minus 10/3, and here you can see that this is the slope, and this particular form has a special name that's called slope intercept form. If you know the slope of a line and you know the y-intercept of that line, remember the y-intercept means point intersecting between a line and y-axis. So for example, let's say this is the line we're talking about, and this point is called y-intercept, which has the value 0, b in this case. Okay, if you have slope of this line, which is m, and y-intercept is 0, b, then this is the equation for that line, and this equation can be found by using the very same formula: y minus y1 equal m times x minus x1. Just plug b for m and 0 for x1, um, and no, m for slope, 0 for x1, and b for y. If you do that, this is the equation you are going to get. Okay, so one example, you have given a slope of a line and you have given y-intercept, which in our case that's the value of b in this formula. Now find out the equation of line using the slope intercept form. So just plug the value of m here and plug the value of b. You will be able to find out the equation. So m is 1/4 and b is 3. And if you try to plot the graph of this is the graph. Remember, Y-intercept means a point on y-axis, so that should be 0 comma 3. So this is the 1 point, and now we know slope is 1/4, so rise means 1 unit up and run means 4 unit to the right, 4 unit to the right. That's how you get another point. So let me just focus on here this picture. First of all, you start with this y-intercept 0 comma 3, and because the slope is 1/4, so to find out the another point, you just rise 1 unit and go to the right 4 unit. Rise over run 1/4. If it's positive, both of them are positive, you go up and then right. If this is negative, then you go up, or you go up and left. Okay, that's how you get another point. Keep going, and then that's how you get the graph. So this is the graph. Okay, so there is another way to write down equation of a line, that's called standard equation, standard form. Standard form means you write x and y term on the left side and constant on the right side. That's called standard form. uh, So let's see this example here. Find the equation of line passing through the points, these 2 points. Write the equation in point slope form, slope intercept form, and standard form. Remember, there are you know point slope form, slope intercept form, and standard form. Point slope form means this one: y minus y1 equal m times x minus x1. Slope intercept form means y equal m times x plus b. That's your slope intercept form. And standard form means you bring everything x and y on the left side and then constant on the right side. So these are the three different forms for same equation. Okay, so to write down this three different forms, start with the first one, slope and point slope form. So you already have formula for slope, which is y2 minus y1. In this case, let's assume that this is our x1 y1 and this is our x2 y2, and plug the value of y2, which is -4, plug the value of y1, which is +3. X2 is 2 and x1 is -1, so that's -7 +3. That's the slope. And pick one of the point and use that formula, y minus y1. So y minus y1, y1 is 3, slope is -7/3, x minus x1, which is -1. Okay, so this is y minus 3 equal -7/3, x plus 1. So that is slope intercept form. Now to go from slope intercept form to the this slope in to go from point slope form to the slope intercept form, you just have to distribute this -7/3 and you have to bring this 3 to the right side. Okay, let me just add one page here. uh, okay, so let's go here. So y minus, this is our form, y minus 3 -7/3 x plus 1. So this is our point slope form, and we want to go from point slope form to the slope intercept form. For that, we have to bring this 3 to the right side, and at the same time we have to distribute this -7/3 here. So that will give us -7/3 x, -7/3 plus 3. We have to combine these two, and that's only possible if you make the same denominator, and that is -7/3x, and just add these two, which will be if you add -7/3 plus 9/3, that's eventually -7 plus 9/3, which is 2/3. So that will give us +2/3. This is slope intercept form. This is y equal mx plus b. That's the slope intercept form. This one was point slope form. And now to go from slope intercept form to the standard form, just bring this x term to the left side. So just add 7 over 3x both sides. By doing that, this equation becomes y plus 7 over 3 equal 2 over 3. This is the standard form. The standard form is ax plus by equals c. So you bring all the x's and y's on the left side and constant on the right side. Uh, if you have a standard form of a an equation of a line, then you can always find out the slope and intercept from that standard form. So how do you do that? Ax plus by equals c. To find out the slope, you just have to bring this this term x term here, and that will give you by equal negative ax plus c. And if you divide both side by b, it will give you y equal negative a over b x plus, you have to divide each term, so c over b. So this is from standard to the slope intercept form, y equal mx plus b. If you compare these two, the slope would be negative a over b, and then y intercept would be c over b. Now we have given a line. Now we want to plot this line. So remember, if you have given a line in standard form, you can always find out the slope and y-intercept. For finding the slope, so if you just compare this with ax plus by equals c, you know a is 2, b is negative 5, and c is 8. And from previous information here, we can find out the slope by dividing a by b and minus of that. So slope is negative a over b, which is in this case a is 2 and b is negative 5. This negative and this negative becomes positive, so eventually slope is 2 over 5. And constant c is 8, so the y-intercept is c over b. So y-intercept b is c over b. What is c? C is 8. What is b? B is negative 5. So it's eventually negative 5, negative 8 over 5. So what is the equation so we know y-intercept, we know slope. So we know the y-intercept means this point 0b, which is in our case 0, negative 8 over 5, should be on the graph. Okay, so when you try to sketch the graph for this line, you can start with this y-intercept, which is 0 comma negative 8 over 5. So let's say 0 is here, negative 8 over 5 means somewhere here, maybe 0 comma negative 8 over 5, right? And now to get you need another point to plot the graph, and for finding the another point, we can use the slope. Slope means 2 over 5, so you rise 2 unit up and you go 5 unit to the right. 2 unit up, 1 2, 5 unit to the right, 1 2 3 4 5. So now that's how you plot the line, by joining these 2 points. Okay, the detailed work is here. Oh, so I sketched the graph. Okay, so here we found the x-intercept and then y-intercept. We plotted these 2 points, x and y-intercept, and we sketched the graph. But you can also use slope and y-intercept to plot the graph. Very same thing you are going to get. So this is one way to plot the graph. Find the slope, find the y-intercept, you are done. So another way is you can find the intercepts, x-intercept and y-intercept. Okay, and y-intercept. So that's the same problem but different ways. For finding the x-intercept, you put y equal to 0. For finding the x-intercept, you put y equal to 0 in the given equation, and that's what we're doing here. X-intercept means put y equal to 0 in the given equation, set y equal to 0 to solve for x-intercept, and when you solve, you get this point 4. So that means the x-intercept would be 4 comma 0. So that's the one of the point on the graph. And to find out the y-intercept, you set x equal to 0 in the given same equation and solve for y. That will give you the y-intercept. So now you have 2 points, 0 comma negative 8 over 5 and 4 comma 0. And that's what we're going to plot here. 0 comma negative 8 over 5 and 4 comma 0. So this is another way, uh, you know, if you want to plot the graph by using x-intercept and y-intercept. But remember, you can plot the graph by finding the slope and y-intercept as well. That's the same thing. It will give you the same answer. Okay, remember there are two special kind of straight lines. The one is called horizontal line. Horizontal line has equation like this: y equals some constant, and the vertical line has equation like this: x equals some constant. And for the horizontal line, as you can see that if you go from one point to another point, there is no rise. So if you try to find out the slope of this line, which is a rise over run, so there is no rise means zero rise. So that's the reason the slope would be 0 for the horizontal line. For the vertical line, if you try to find out slope, there will be rise, some rise, you can see, any rise. But for the run, there is no run, because as you can see that the x value would be always same. So the run would be 0. So that's the reason for the vertical line, the slope would be undefined. And this is how we write the vertical line, and this is how we write the horizontal line. So find the equation of horizontal line passing through this point. Find the equation of vertical line passing through negative 1, comma 3. So whenever you try to find the equation of horizontal line or vertical line, you remember horizontal line means y equals some constant. Y equals some constant, and that constant comes from the y coordinate of any point on that line. So for this particular problem, the answer would be y equals 3. And for the vertical line, x equals some constant, and that constant comes from your x coordinate. For the vertical line, the equation is x equal the x coordinate of any point on that line. So for the first one, the equation is y equal 3, and for the second one, the equation is x equal to negative 1. If you try to plot the graph for y equal to 3, so this one is the graph, and if you try to plot the graph of x equal to negative 1, this red one is the graph. So these are the graph for vertical and horizontal line.